Welcome to the first midweek series from the best book ever. We will be reading the story of Ruth, one chapter per week, and I will try to give you something to think about each week. We will finish the series by reading the entire book in one go. Some stories are best when read all in one go, and this is one of them. So let's begin with chapter 1. According to the message, once upon a time, it was back in the days when judges led Israel, there was a famine in the land. A man from Bethlehem in Judah left home to live in the country of Moab, he and his wife and his 2 sons. The man's name was Elimelech, his wife's name was Naomi. His sons were named Mahlon and Kilion, all Ephrathites from Bethlehem in Judah. They all went to the country of Moab and settled there. Elimelech died, and Naomi was left, she and her 2 sons. The sons took Moabite wives. The name of the first was Orpah, the second Ruth. They lived there in Moab for the next 10 years. But then the 2 brothers, Mahlon and Kilion, died. Now the woman was left without either her young men or her husband. One day she got herself together, she and her 2 daughters-in-law, to leave the country of Moab and set out for home. She had heard that God had been pleased to visit his people and give them food. So she started out from the place where she had been living, she and her 2 daughters-in-law with her, on the road back to the land of Judah. After a short while on the road, Naomi told her 2 daughters-in-law, "Go back home. Go home and live with your mothers, and may God treat you as graciously as you treated your deceased husbands and me. May God give each of you a new home and a new husband." She kissed them, and they cried openly. They said, "No, we're going on with you to your people." But Naomi was firm. "Go back, my dear daughters. Why would you come with me? Do you suppose I still have sons in my womb who can become your future husbands? Go back, dear daughters, on your way, please. I'm too old to get a husband. Why, even if I said there's still hope, and this very night got a man and had sons, can you imagine being satisfied to wait until they're grown? Would you wait that long to get married again? No, dear daughters, this is a bitter pill for me to swallow, more bitter for me than for you. God has dealt me a hard blow." Again they cried openly. Orpah kissed her mother-in-law good-bye, but Ruth embraced her and held on. Naomi said, "Look, your sister-in-law is going back home to live with her own people and God's. Go with her." But Ruth said, "Don't force me to leave you. Don't make me go home. Where you go, I go. Where you live, I live. Your people are my people. Your God is my God. Where you die, I'll die, and that's where I'll be buried. So help me, God, not even death itself is going to come between us." When Naomi saw that Ruth had her heart set on going with her, she gave in, and so the 2 of them travelled on together to Bethlehem. When they arrived in Bethlehem, the whole town was soon buzzing. "Is it really Naomi, after all this time?" But she said, Don't call me Naomi. Call me bitter. The strong one has dealt me a bitter blow. I left here full of life, and God has brought me back with nothing but the clothes on my back. Why would you call me Naomi? God certainly doesn't. The strong one ruined me. And so Naomi was back, and Ruth, the foreigner, with her, back from the country of Moab. They arrived in Bethlehem at the beginning of the barley harvest. Did you know that Ruth is often read in its entirety for the Jewish Harvest Festival? I only recently found this out. It's because Ruth and Naomi return to Bethlehem just as the harvest is beginning. This is a story about how God is faithful to provide for our needs, even when we declare He has forgotten us, as Naomi did at the end of today's chapter, telling the people to call her Mara, which means bitter. I find it fascinating to look at the meaning of the names used in the Bible. According to Matthew Henry's commentary, Elimelech means "my God a king." Naomi means amiable or pleasant, while Machlon and Kilion means sickness and consumption. And the place they came from, Bethlehem, that means house of bread. Interestingly, a quick online search reveals that Ruth means friend or companion. So, chapter 1 could be summarized as: my God a king, with the pleasant one, took sickness and consumption to the forbidden place, far from the house of bread, because there was no bread. When my God a king died, sickness and consumption caused immense trouble until they also passed away. Then the pleasant one returned to the house of bread, accompanied by friendship. I wonder what fascinating facts you know about this chapter. Feel free to share them in the comments below. And remember to like, subscribe, and share on social media to spread the blessing. See you next time. God bless you.